Hi, so yeah, I'm Jonathan Roberts and I'll be talking about nano fingerprints, and I like to think of this as tiny gadgets for a big cause. So when we think about fingerprints, what do we normally think about? So we think about like identification, and that's because every single person in this room obviously has a unique fingerprint. And you can use this to unlock things, and this is being demonstrated by this lovely little pussycat in the GIF. And the problem with fingerprints is they're not actually that great, so they're quite bulky. I mean, they're quite big, and if you want to authenticate something in Leeds, for example, you would have to like cut your fingers off, which isn't ideal. And they're also not that secure, so I mean, just by touching this table, I can leave my fingerprints lying around, which again is undesirable. So what we actually want to do is put them into some sort of electronic device that behaves as a fingerprint. So where do we come into this? Well, what we want to do is take these kind of electronic devices and shrink them right down as far as we can, right down to the atomic level. So if we consider atoms as rocks for a minute, and if you drop a series of rocks on the floor, they fall in a random pattern. And if you do this again and again and again in exactly the same way, the pattern's always different. And basically, this is no different for atoms, and if you can use this difference, then you've basically got a nano fingerprint. So what should we use? So in my research, what we've first proposed of using is graphene, so the wonder material graphene. So whenever you hear about this, it's always this pristine sheet that's perfect. But in actuality, it probably looks something like this, but even worse. So it's got wobbles, and it's got jaggedy edges, and it's got random imperfections, and it's atomically imperfect. So it's a perfect example of a nano fingerprint. And we can measure this both optically and electronically. And if we can basically extract a signature from that that's unique from graphene flake to graphene flake, then we've basically got the perfect example of a nano fingerprint that's smaller, cheaper to produce, use less power, and are all round more secure. Thank you.